I'm not a doctor, and this is for informational purposes only. Number 15 of my 44 pearls for health and fitness. Let me first say, I work directly in the pharmaceutical sector and indirectly as a consultant for 9 years. And overall, a wonderful experience. Met some scary smart people and some not so smart people. But from a training perspective, marketing, sales, management, top tier companies, top tier training. And for a nerd like me, when it came to medications and supplements and health and fitness, it was just the right industry for me to be in at that time. But like any industry, there is good and bad, and that comes along with it. So we don't hold back on this channel. Truth to power is the only way to live. Let the chips fall where they may. So the hottest weight loss drug in years is here, and everyone is jumping all over it. So what is it? How does it work? How do you get it? Should you take it? And why is it dangerous for some people? Dangerous. Yes, indeed. People have a right to take whatever they want, ladies and gentlemen. That's my thought. But the purpose of this video is you must be informed. That's all I'm trying to do, and my experiences. So I'm not a fan of fat burners and weight loss drugs in general. Never been a fan. So number 15 of my health tips is don't take it. Maybe some cases where it is necessary, okay? But it's just my personal opinion. So to get a better understanding of Ozempic, we need to look back in the past, in my opinion. So you remember Fen was a fat shedding drug of choice, you know, in the 90s. Fen referred to fenfluramine or the dexfenfluramine as an appetite suppressant. They were combined, and a study showed people were losing a lot of weight with the combination. So guess what? The floodgates opened. The demand for fen was so high that doctors dedicated their entire practice to just prescribing one drug, fen. So just imagine that a doctor who only prescribed one drug, right? 2 million Americans were taking fen by 1996. But then, in July 1997, it was reported that 24 women taking fen developed a rare and serious heart valve condition. So, of course, an investigation commenced, and it was found in a study of 291 fen-fed patients that 1/3 of them developed the rare heart valve condition. People were literally dying from the drug. So the drug company, they had to pay out, and we know the pharmaceutical sector has paid out more than any other sector. Lawsuits. They paid out $3.75 billion to victims back in 2000. It's chump change for pharma. Trust me, I know. So, okay, so moving forward, how does Ozempic, the new bad boy on the block, work? Basically, it's an appetite suppressant. So, semaglutide, Ozempic is a medication that is used to help people who are overweight to lose weight. It is a type of drug called, we're not going to get too deep in this, but I love this stuff, a GLP-1 receptor agonist, which works by mimicking the effects of a hormone in the body called GLP-1. So it is, it's a hormone that is naturally, produced in the body after you eat. It helps to regulate our appetite and blood sugar levels. So when we eat, GLP-1 is released into the bloodstream, which signals our brain that we are full and helps to reduce our, our food intake. So does it really work? This is the key. And I know people on it right now as well. In clinical trials, Ozempic has been shown to be effective treatment for weight loss. Test subjects lost about 10% of their body weight over a few months. So how do you take it? It's usually given as a once weekly injection into the glutes. So that's how they're doing it. How much does it cost? It can cost $1,000 a month or more. We'll get deeper into that. So it's not cheap. Insurance companies covering it. There are major shortages of the drug happening right now. So people are dumping into it and they haven't even researched it, in my opinion. So the price will likely go up. Are there side effects? This is the number one thing I look at first before anything. Tell me about the side effects. Yes. So let's start with number one. This was hidden. Why I would never take the drug. 35% of weight loss associated with Ozempic comes from loss of muscle mass and bone density. Let me say that again. 35% of weight loss associated with Ozempic comes from loss of muscle mass and bone density. We're going to have a lot of skinny fat people running around there, folks. Yes, in fact, users report some really nasty side effects as well. Some common side effects of Ozempic include diarrhea, nausea, vomiting, constipation, headaches, fatigue. So what do real users think? And I went on all these websites and talked to people. I called some doctor friends of mine who will give me the real scoop. You can just go to, like, let's say drugs.com, and there's reviews. So Ozempic has a pretty terrible rating of 5.6 and just 5.1 for weight loss. Many users had similar stories to this one. A woman said she had an horrific experience. She said she only took 2 doses because she had difficulty functioning with headaches, eye pain, nausea, dizziness, and overall feeling just awful. So the additional issue, she said, is she's been off the drug for like 10 days and can't get rid of the symptoms. So she said she's nauseous every day with headaches and dizziness. How long till all this goes away? So let's look at the mind-numbing numbers. And I knew about these numbers, but I dug on it over a deeper level. And it's pretty incredible. Okay, and this is the USA. 50% of teens and 80% of adults are overweight in the United States. 60% of adults and 33% of teens have pre-diabetes. Crazy, right? 25% of teens have fatty liver disease. That used to only affect elderly adults. Remember, diabetes is cellular disruption and dysfunction. So did you know the USDA is totally corrupt? It's funded by the food companies. 95% of the guideline committees is paid for by food companies. The USDA says that 10%, this is crazy. The USDA says that 10% of 2-year-old diets can be sugar. Yes, that's true. Go ahead. 2 years old, start that sugar intake. Pump it in. Just inject it. Why not? We have more money in America for agricultural subsidies that go to cigarettes and tobacco companies. I used to work for Big Tobacco, so that's true. Than vegetables. 90% of subsidies go to processed food, folks. 90% for processed food. So we prop this industry up. They don't want you healthy, folks. They don't want a cure for cancer. They don't want you to eat healthy. They want you going to the hospital. 15% of the U.S. population is on food stamps. 10% of all food stamp funding goes to soda. We are the only country in the world that would allow that. So let me say that another way. The U.S. government, direct from the federal treasury, more than $10 billion per year go from the federal treasury to soda companies through the food stamp program. You get it? The number one item purchased with food stamps in America is addictive diabetes water. We prop up with food stamps. So my opinion, instead of dealing with the root causes, which we're not, of obesity, you have to take an expensive weekly injection for life, folks. Let's not deal with the root causes. Just take that injection once a week. And by the way, for life. That costs $20,000 per patient when 80% of Americans are overweight. We are saying that Ozempic is the answer. First line. First line. So do the math, folks. 80% of Americans are obese, and you need to take this drug for life at a cost of $20,000 per patient. So, my friends on Wall Street, K Street, have broken out the bags of cocaine and models and bottles. They're jumping up and down, baby. Now, let's look at Europe. They don't allow this drug for obesity in Europe. All of Nordic's revenue is coming from the USA, not Europe. This is not the first line of defense for obesity in Europe. So they're taking advantage, and like I said, I've been in healthcare a long time. It's a broken system. The US system is broken in the United States. It's a joke. It's supposed to be the richest, wealthiest country in the world. So here's a stat. 30% of the people that go on this drug in the USA go off within 3 months. Lawsuits are already coming on gastrointestinal issues and stomach paralysis. Like I said, the drug itself is stomach paralysis. Some studies are showing that once you go off the drug, that the stomach paralysis is staying. These are the early studies. Not saying I'm just saying that's what they're saying. So also patients who go off the drug are consistently gaining the weight back. Of course, stay on it for life. The EU is looking at an issue with the drug causing suicidal ideation caused by Ozempic. Ladies and gentlemen, you can't make this stuff up. So increased reports of depression, suicide is occurring. This is interesting. It's crazy. This is very interesting though. Your serotonin, what produces your contempt and happiness, 95% is made in the gut. And Ozempic is essentially gut dysfunction. So when you mess with the serotonin and mess with the gut, a lot of the unexpected things can happen. So mental health disorders are being reported, and suicidal issues from Ozempic. Listen, the American Academy of Pediatrics recently said that they recommend this as a first-line treatment for teens. And the study they are basing that decision for the American Academy of Pediatrics to say that every obese or overweight teen, which is 50%, should take this drug is only a 68-week study. It's only a 68-week study, ladies and gentlemen. We had a 68-week study only for teens to receive a lifetime recommendation for 50% of teens in America. Remember COVID? You didn't need to take it, but take it as young as 2. Remember, Ozempic does not cure obesity. It manages it for life. Cha-ching! Doctors admit that there are unknown metabolic problems if you go off the drug. It's on the box. Lifetime injection. Can you say cha-ching, cha-ching for the pharma companies? This is incredible. So a doctor, Fedma Stanford on 60 Minutes, he's a paid-off doctor by Ozempic. He said, through willpower, throw willpower out the window. This is a brain disease. Eat whatever you want. Food is not the problem. It's a medical problem. Don't worry about what you are eating. Pizza and beer all day, baby. That's what he's saying. I mean, it's absolutely incredible, ladies and gentlemen. Just eat pizza and beer all day. We don't need to solve the root causes of the problem. And that's the writing on the wall that should concern you. When medical professionals are coming out and saying this is a brain disease, use this injection first line as a teen and eat whatever you want. When I dug into this, I'm just astonished. And let me say this, just from a perspective, when I talk about the gut health, the gut is such an unbelievable process and how it works and how it goes back to homeostasis. Anyone who watches my channel knows that I'm not a fan of pre and probiotics. You'll mess up that floor, in my opinion. It's bullshit. I'm not a fan of intermittent fasting, never did it when all that bullshit came out. When we talk about fasting, I'm a fan of eat your last meal at 7, 8 at night and don't eat for 12 hours. I've always done that before all this madness came out. Give your organs and give your body a rest. So wait 12 hours and then have your first meal, get up. Breakfast is the most important meal of the day. If you want to look like Jack Dorsey and eat birdseed, eat one meal a day, you're never going to gain any muscle and look good. You want to be an Adonis? It's not going to happen on one meal a day. But the key is when you get up in the morning, don't eat right away. Hydrate, have your coffee, go for a walk your dog, take a shower, get on your inversion table, wait 2 hours, have a bowel movement, and then have your breakfast. But to wrap a bow on this, because I don't want to bore you with, I can get passionate about the health and fitness, and I don't want to talk about it every day on my channel, but this should not be a first line defense, and you're putting a Band-Aid on the problem. I know people that take this drug and they're skinny fat. They're skinny fat. They have no muscle tone. And that one girl in particular lost a tremendous amount of weight, and you get excited. She's having autoimmune problems right now. And off the record, I don't know yet if it's the cause by Ozempic. Okay, so the pharma companies, I'm just stating the facts. We don't know yet, but she went on Ozempic and she's having major problems and she's off now. But we don't know if it's caused by Ozempic yet. We're researching. I don't think it should be a first line for weight loss. Get your ass to the gym. Okay. I mean, I'm doing vacuum technique exercises to bring my stomach in and in eating correctly. I'm up at 5 in the morning in the gym. I mean, it's not a rah, rah, rah. And I still have issues with, it's hard. You got to work hard. You got to work hard every day. I think the best thing you can do, and I know I'm going to piss some people off here because my dad's a runner, but the worst thing you can do is run. I know more people, and I talk to doctors, and I know this for years. Back problems, knee problems, hip replacement. If you run 10, 15 miles a day, marathons, the best thing for you is walking. Just walk. You walk 30 minutes to an hour a day, you will lose weight and you will get a six-pack. Of course, the body is built in the kitchen. Okay, so walking is great for you. Everyone wants a quick fix. This is a quick fix. And it's very scary when they say take this drug for life. From a pharmaceutical perspective, being in these meetings, I promoted Vioxx. We had black box warning meetings on a number of products. I know how the game is played, but I've been in there and you have a drug, boom, it's for life. It's for life. You got to take it for life and you can eat whatever you want. Oh, that sounds wonderful. It's too good to be true, folks. And look at fen in the 90s. Look at this drug right now. It's very scary. There might be some cases where some extremely overweight people could take this short term, but it just makes me nervous. And there's different. This shouldn't be a first line defense. It's not a first line in Europe to treat obesity. And I think a lot of people want the quick fix. I can tell you right now, real quick, if you drink alcohol and you drink soda and you take those out of your diet, which I did for someone. I used to personal train. I still help a few people out. Your body will change immensely. Your skin, your body, you'll lose weight without doing anything, without going to the gym. You get rid of soda and you get rid of alcohol. You will improve your physique and your face 100%. Just those two things. And it's a self-discipline thing, in my opinion. I don't want to hear it overall. You have to put in the discipline. And unfortunately, a lot of people, and I think that's good with these podcasters that focus on this, don't know how to eat right and don't know how to train. Like I said, the body's built in the kitchen. For every day I train, I take 2 to 3 off. It's going to freak some people out. Okay, I will say this. When you break the body down, you think your body recovers in one day? I'll do a talk on this. No way. I'll get into that. But if you eat right, and you never go to the gym, you can build a beautiful physique. So the guys and gals that go to the gym 5-7 days a week, and they're just spot on with their training, but they don't eat right, your physique's never going to change. But if you eat perfectly and eat clean and know how to eat right, the right amount of protein and what have you, and you're doing it right, and you never go to the gym, you will lose weight, you'll gain some muscle mass. Trust me. It's all about what you put through your mouth. And Americans are horrible at that. Fast food every day, soda, let's go drink some alcohol, let's have some cigarettes, whatever. I'm just telling you. So it's early in the game on this, but I'm a little worried about this. I see fen of the 90s, and I'm going to do more talks on this because it is fascinating. I'm concerned about it, and some people have talked about it recently, but just be very careful out there and look at the studies and look at the research on both sides. I'm not saying this might be a good drug for some people. Not saying that. But be very careful. I'm intimately involved in this. I worked in the industry. And just do your homework. Take care.